I helped create this team. Now, if you look at the faces, this picture was taken just this Saturday in Croatia. My team and I participated in the AFL Access European Cup. And the faces that you see here, thank you. The faces that you see here include smiling, excitement, pride. Now, you wouldn't expect that if I was to tell you that this team lost 4 of their 4 games consecutively and ended bottom of the competition, right? But if you look deeper into their faces, you'll see that those smiles, that pride is coming from somewhere else. It's coming from their courage. It's coming from their unity of playing together. 7 Palestinians and 7 Israelis, all from Jerusalem, who would not interact if there was no team like this from both sides of the border, managed to do it together and fight for life. So it was important for me to show you this photo very quickly. All right? Oh, I wanted to go back. Never mind. At the end of this experience, I asked the boys to share with me some of their reflections about their experience. Okay? It's not a normal experience, and I'm sure they had feelings. One of the players, Adam, shared with me the following. He said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. This dark side is nothing of what we want. And with this yellow bright ball, our intention is to avoid any darkness. So I told you a little bit about footy. Now I'm going to tell you about the values. And I want you to pay attention, because if these values were to be emulated by our national leaders, our conflict would be over so quickly. Communication on the footy field is essential. Being loud, speaking to each other, shouting each other's names. Cooperation, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to rely on your friend, your teammate. Courage, we're the lions. Lions are courageous. It's about putting yourself on the line for your teammate. Having a Palestinian shepherd an Israeli and say, I got you, is something unheard of. And seeing it live is something that it just stays with you, and it's something that you must share, and they must share, and they will. Trusting the other side. We're losing trust. Humans are losing trust in each other, and it's all about that. And respect. All right, these values, I know that most of us share these values, that's why we're here. But if we can take it one step further and share it with the people around us back home, to my national leaders, to their national leaders, things will change quickly. So, the values are great, the idea is great. The reason of starting footy and why it is so unique is the following. First of all, it's a real sport, right? So soccer, you have Lionel Messi, you have Cristiano Ronaldo, you have these players who carry their whole team. In Australian football, you don't have that. Everyone is playing for each other, and if one screws up, the team loses. That's not the reason why we lost, we just didn't have enough skill. Okay? And neutrality. Bringing a game that is unknown to everyone is unheard of. Everyone starting at the same spot and moving together and growing is incredible. It is absolutely incredible to see how Palestinians and Israelis, no inferiority, no one's supreme over the other, they work together to grow. All right? And with all that I've just said, it's about transforming the seeds of peace that Hiba and I work at and with those kids who are seeds into grassroots, right? So change. Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in this world. We're all here because we want to see a change. But telling the kids, they're not kids, actually students my age, but telling the people, my teammates, that they need to be the change. There's no more waiting around another 67 years, another 2,000 years, millions of people being killed. Enough is enough. You got to stand up. I stood up and I had a team to stand up with me. Finding a goal, we all know that humans need a goal, so we targeted the AFL Access Cup that we just participated in, and Palestinians were able to move outside their comfort zone, and Israelis were able to move outside their comfort zone to the stretch zone, where everyone works together, and together with this goal, we were able to move forwards. Now nurturing, you got to nurture your seeds. So you take those values that we just spoke of, and you spread them around, and some beautiful things will happen. But it's not just that, it's about talking the talk. But what does that mean? It's not about, hey, what did you eat last night? What movie did you see? It's about creating a safe space, a secure space for Palestinians and Israelis to share their fears, to share their stories, to share their traumas. We're carrying a lot of shit. There's a lot happening back home, and we need to be able to express these thoughts and feelings. So we have professional facilitators there with us who let us do it. But talking the talk isn't enough. You also got to walk the walk. Okay? Walking the walk is what we just did as one unified team playing against massive teams. Denmark, Holland, Norway. Big Vikings. We're like this. Big Vikings. But when we're unified, it doesn't matter what your size is, it's about the size of your heart. And we hit those boys hard. And we hit them hard together, and we gained so much respect from the other nations. We had Irishmen, I don't know what's their deal, but they took their shoes off, and they were singing this jingle, "Take your shoes off for the peace team." Like tens of them. I don't know if it was the beer or their smelly feet, but there was Alf. All right, last but not least is follow-up. So I've participated in the peace team in 2008 and 11 in the World Cup in Australia. But this is about our creation, not people from Australia, not these big donors. It's about us creating something from the bottom. And what we lacked was follow-up. We never kept going. It was like, yay, we were in the World Championships, and there was nothing else. But now, 14 young men are waiting in Jerusalem for the first week of November to keep going. And that's what it's about, keeping going and not letting this dream finish. This is the last slide. And I want to share with you, first of all, I'm going to call for action now, okay? So my call for action from you guys, I reckon there's about 1,500 people here. We all have smartphones, and we mostly have Facebook. So we have a Facebook page. Right now it has 379 likes, and that's not enough if we want to spread our word. So as I'm speaking, pull out your iPhones or your Samsungs or your HTCs or whatever they just invented. Log on to Facebook, AFL Peace Team on the bottom. Give us a like, and you'll be with us for the continuation of our journey. All right, that's one thing. But I want to share with you our motto, the motto that was with us throughout the competition. It's possible to change the world. Future isn't destiny. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for things to happen, and nothing happens. We need to make a stand. We will change the future, and we won't leave it up to destiny. I thank you for listening to me. I thank you for the support. I have 2 bowls here. I want to give one to a Palestinian youth and one to an Israeli youth in the crowd. Find me after. This is for you, okay? Thank you so much.
How are y'all doing tonight? Yeah? We're almost through it, and I just want to... What?
My mom doesn't believe that I'm speaking at a plenary at the Parliament, and I'm doing it with you, so I gotta take a selfie for her.
Oh. You guys all smile in the background? Do it sideways. Hold it out really far.
There's a bunch of cool 20-somethings in the audience going like, selfies are over. that Eboo dude just took one. All right, back to the agenda.
But what I want to remind you all is whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, if it's important for you to be here, it's important to spread the word. You know, all the work that we do towards peace for everybody and for the world, for our communities, for our children, for all the future generations, the point of that is to share so that we can teach other people to do it, so we can tell them what we're doing here, so that we can go home and take more back with us. So don't forget to take pictures, to talk about what you've learned and the experiences that you're having while you're here, to use the hashtag 2015 Parliament and Parliament of Religions. So did everybody get that hashtag? Put your hand up if you got it. Woohoo! Okay, great. I wanted to introduce a couple of people here now, and they're here to talk about the declaration and call to action. I'm really, really happy and proud to introduce to you, I'll introduce them both now, but they're going to come out. Isobel Arthen is an environmental activist, organizer, and trainer. She returns to the Parliament as a representative of the Peace Jam Foundation and member of the Emerging Leaders Task Force. Crystal Silva McCormick is a trustee for the Parliament, is an ordained minister of the United Church of Christ, and currently serves as associate pastor at St. Andrew's Presbyterian in Austin, Texas. Can you please put your hands together and welcome them?
Good evening. You can find the declaration in your program booklet, but for this evening as we close, we want to summarize it for you, the salient pieces. Together as we gather, let us hear this declaration. Do you know that over half of the world's population is made up of children, youth, and young adults? Which means that half of the world is filled with an enormous amount of youthful and creative energy that has already been making waves of change across the globe. And though those from previous generations sometimes fail to see the abilities of emerging leaders like Isobel and like those of you seated here, the youth and young adults continue to press on, prepared to make change in the world, raising their voices even when they have been overlooked. Youth and young adults, relying on their own wisdom and the wisdom of those who have gone before them, are already engaged in the work of changing the world. They stand prepared to be a powerful leading voice for radical social change.
We call on guiding institutions to engage younger generations, support them in carrying on the work of bringing change into this world in new and dynamic ways. We urge religious institutions and faith communities to foster and nurture the spiritual paths of youth and young adults so that they may draw upon their spirituality as a foundation for the change they seek to bring to the world.
Now, what we're doing here is for the young and young at heart. But right now, I would like to ask anyone who is 35 and under, I barely made the cut, to please stand. Yes, give yourselves a hand. I would like to kindly ask if you will commit to some things. Will you pledge to choose an issue or issues that you are passionate about and use your energy and creativity to address these issues? If you do, say, "We will."
Will you continue to?
Absolutely you are. Will you engage in organizations and institutions offering your wisdom as young and wise people? You are, and will you? Will you continue to advocate, to make your voice and your actions loud in order to bring about policy change to improve the lives of others? And finally, will you commit to the creative use of social media not only to draw attention to issues and causes, but to organize and to mobilize your peers to take action?
Okay, you can have a seat. Now, those of you from older generations on whose shoulders we stand, please rise. Will you reach out to us, the emerging leaders and young people in your lives, and open your mind to listen to the wisdom and creativity we can share with you? Will you urge organizations, religious and otherwise, to mentor youth and young adults, sharing your own experiences and wisdom, empowering them and creating space for them to grow into leadership positions? Will you promote policies and elect officials that benefit us and work towards the physical, economic, and educational well-being of youth and young adults? Will you insist that media outlets showcase the kind of inspired leadership you have witnessed from emerging leaders on this stage tonight? I'm glad to hear it. You can sit down. Thank you. So, I know that you all have been sitting here for a long time, but I promise it has been worth the wait, because to close this plenary, I'd like to invite Takaya Blaney back onto the stage to share with us her vision for an Earth revolution.
We'd like to welcome Takaya back on stage for a final performance.
Distance, still got 1,000,000 miles to go, making a difference. The only trophy I wanna hold, state of the nations. It's poison from pollution, greed, and war. No, we have solutions. Actions speak louder than words. Oh, stop waiting till tomorrow. Stop living yesterday. Oh, there won't be tomorrow if we don't change today. We're generation now, children of the future, Earth revolution. Creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away. I'll do my part to fix what's broken, give back what we've taken, hope for the dawn of a new day. Calling out to each and every person, join me in the Earth revolution. Let's go the distance. We are a million voices strong. distance. But there's a choice between right and wrong. Oh, oh, stop waiting till tomorrow. Oh, oh, stop living yesterday. There won't be tomorrow if we don't change today. Generation now, children of the future, Earth revolution. Creation's crying pain. I can't walk away. I'll do my part to fix what's broken. Give back what we've taken. Hope for the dawn of a new day. Calling out to each and every person. Join me in the Earth revolution. I've walked this great land. It used to be beautiful. It used to be home. I've seen the river run dry. Now communities have no hope. Where are the tall ancient trees? They've replaced them with their concrete trees. We gotta turn this around. We can fix it right now. Generation now, children of the future, Earth revolution. Creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away. So I will do my part to fix what's broken. Give back what we've taken. Hope for the dawn of a new day. Calling out to each and every person. Join me in the Earth revolution. Generation now, children of the future, Earth revolution. Creation's crying out, and I feel her pain. I can't walk away. I'll do my part to fix what's broken. Give back what we've taken. Hope for the dawn of a new day. Calling out to each and every person. Join me in the Earth revolution. Calling out to every generation. Join me in Earth revolution. Calling out to each and every nation. Join me in the Earth revolution. Thank you.
Anybody planning to run for office in the United States of America is going to have to explain that when they were singing and swaying to Earth Revolution on stage, it wasn't properly contextualized. So there's no such thing as an interfaith plenary if it doesn't end with a good sway. So I want to thank everybody who is involved with that. This has been a very special night. Dawn?
It has indeed, and I want to thank all of you for coming here, and thank all of you who stayed to the end, because all of you who stayed, there was something here for you to see and to learn. And I want to say, travel safe, all of you travel safe home, and I want to thank all of the youth, all the young leaders, and all of the people who support them. I also want to thank my friend and colleague, Eboo Patel. Please give him a round of applause for being my host.
Thank you. So we will send you with a line from the 1893 World Religions. From now on, the great religions of the world make war no longer on each other and instead on the giant ills that afflict humankind. Hudafes, and may you have a great night.
Peace.